Finally, lunch break. Students went into the canteen. "Hey, Moira, are you going?" asked blonde girl. She was Moira's classmate. They always eat lunch together. Today they were planning to study maths after finishing the meal. "Wait," said Moira. She looked at her phone. Something was wrong. 2 missed calls from my mom? She never calls me when I'm at school, thought Moira. I'll send her a message. She texted, "I have maths test next lesson. I have to study, I call you soon." "Let's go," said Moira to her blonde friend Lisa. But Moira had a strong feeling that something bad happened. She knew her family very well, and she knew that her mother had a reason to call her. What is more, her mom never uses her phone when she's at work, so that means, "Moira, focus, we have test in a moment," said Lisa. "What's in your mind? What happened?" "Nothing, let's study." But Moira couldn't focus. Something happened. She knew it, and she was right. When the bell rang, Moira got out the class and called her mom. "Jamie's at the hospital." She heard. "What?" Moira couldn't believe. Her brother? No, that's impossible. When Moira came home, she saw her mother sitting on a couch. She was crying. She covered her face in hands. "Mom, he will be okay." "He won't," said Anna, Moira's mother. "They just called from the hospital. He died." Moira couldn't believe. Not her brother, not her best friend. He was everything to her. When Jamie was born, Moira was the happiest little girl in the whole world. Even that he was 4 years younger than her, they always spent time together. They were so similar that everyone knew that they are siblings. Both of them had ginger curly hair, big blue eyes and pale skin. Furthermore, they were skinny and also had similar height. Next day, Moira stayed at home. She was lying on her bed. It was raining. Yesterday evening, it turned out what killed her brother. It was a fight near the Jamie school. 3 people were punching him, but nobody knew who they were. All of them had hoodies, and CCTV footage was black and white and not very clear. Moira knew that Jamie was bullied at school, mostly because of his hair color and his character. He was quite shy and sensitive. All she knew was that people in his class didn't like him, but who could hate him so much to kill him? It's been 2 weeks. The mystery still wasn't solved. And Moira's mental health became so much worse. She hasn't gone to school since that accident. Suddenly, Anna came into her bedroom. "Good morning, Moira." She opened the window in her daughter's room. Birds were chirping. "Look what a beautiful weather. Maybe you will go outside, meet your friends?" "I don't want to," said Moira. "Listen, it's almost end of the school year. You have exams next week. You have to get over it." Moira wasn't responding. "I called a therapist. You have to visit him on Friday. I won't let you ruin your future." "What? I won't ruin my future." "Look at yourself. You weren't at school for 2 weeks. 2 weeks!" Moira started to think that her mother is right. She can't handle this pain. Somebody has to help her. On Friday afternoon, Moira came to the therapist. He was an old man with grey hair and beard. He seemed nice, but something was wrong. She just didn't trust him too much. "So tell me about your problems," said old man. His voice was apathetic, just like if he was sleepy or bored. But Moira started to telling her story. "I think you shouldn't worry about it so much," he said. "Are you serious? Is this your advice?" Moira was aggrieved. "I didn't finish. I think you should go somewhere far from this place to forget about everything what happened." I know that it is not easy and you won't forget your lovely brother ever, but trust me, it will help you. Holidays are soon. Go somewhere. It's a stupid idea, said Moira. No, it isn't, and I think that I know where you can go. Moira came home. Anna was at the kitchen and the radio was on. She told her mother everything about our therapy. You know what? He said that I should go on a campsite in Scotland. It's crazy. In my opinion, it is a great idea. Maybe it's time to move forward and have amazing adventures. And you will rest from everyday life. I don't know. I have to think about it. After school exams, Moira finally decided to go on a camp. It was the most spontaneous decision in her whole life. She started packing her things just after finishing school year. While she was trying to find her favorite trousers, her phone rang. Hello?
Moira?
Yes, who's that?
I know who killed your brother. I think you should also know the truth.
She stood rooted to the ground. Moira was shocked. Really shocked. She knew just one thing. A person who called her was a middle-aged male. He didn't introduce himself. Just told Moira that he wanted to meet at the cafe at 3 p.m., which is near her high school. She was sure that she wants to meet him and finds the truth. Moira was sitting at the table in the cafe for 5 minutes. Are you Moira? Asked tall man. He had grey hair, but he wasn't old. He also had a suit. Yes, that's me. The man sat on a chair. He looked bereaved. I have to tell you something. I don't want to hide the truth anymore. What goes around comes around. That's why my son must be punished. It was him. It was Nico with his 2 friends. The blood drained from her face when she heard about it. She knew Nico. He and her brother were friends some time ago. Nico was even at their house when Jamie had his 11th birthday. How could he do that to him? But that wasn't enough. She wanted to know more about this whole situation. I don't know what to say. I mean, I'm glad that you came here to tell me that, but do you know why he did it? And why didn't you tell this to the police? The man gasped. It was a dumb fight. They were arguing about a girl. Moira started to understand. Jamie told her some time ago about a pretty girl from his class. But she thought that it's just a crush, not a reason of fight between 2 boys. It was Nico's idea to punch Jamie. Other 2 boys just helped him. They didn't want to kill him. It was an accident. I'm so sorry for my son. I think you know why I didn't tell this to the police. I just want anything what is the best for my child. That's why I didn't talk about this with anyone. I didn't want him to go to the reformatory. But now I think it isn't a bad idea. I mean, he's not even sorry. That's not how I raised him. He was really frustrated. Moira wasn't angry at his child anymore. Of course, she will never forget about Jamie, but this fight happened long time ago, and she decided to forgive all the boys who killed her brother. It was just an accident. But Moira agreed with Nico's dad. What if his son hurts somebody again? This boy has to go to the reformatory. Maybe then he will understand what he had done. Because what goes around comes around.